So after beating the Abyss Watchers, you just move forward and you'll get to the staircase. Come down the staircase and you end up here. Immediately coming out and then just going left and right, you come out onto this bridge. Now, at this like second to last little square thing here, you can look down and you might see an item here. That would be the Ring of Steel Protection +2, which this section only has 6 rings in all of New Game Plus. And one of them is actually back in Firelink Shrine, which, considering this is a major turning point in the game, that is not a lot of rings. Like, just in the first 2 areas, you get, like, 15, 20. But here, you come across this room with just a ton of pots. Now, any pot that has bones sticking out of the top, feel free to roll through. Any that are covered, like this one, you might want to watch out for, because they hold some little things that chase you down. Watch out, because there's one right here, next to the Carthus Milkring. And then you can just roll through the middle, and you can get the Thunder Stoneplate Ring +1. And from there, you want to just keep on running. It's mostly a straight area. You can go down there and left to make this a little faster if you want. But going the main way, over there's a bonfire. You can get that. Nice little checkpoint. And then you can keep going. Now from in here, you want to go down this little hallway section to the end, and then come back and you'll be invaded by Sorg. Defeating him automatically drops the Night Slayer's Ring, so that's not something that you can pick up, and I didn't want to show the whole fight, just for the sake of making things go by faster. But he's not too difficult, and like I said, automatically drops. But then at the very end here, you get Carthus Bloodring. And from here, you want to go back to Firelink Shrine, where there's one more thing. And you get this, honestly, right after beating the Abyss Watchers. You don't even need to step into the next area.
Gaining admission. You officer.
So you just talk to this guy.
For helping.
After defeating the Abyss Watchers and getting through all of his dialogue, he will give you the Farron Ring. The 6th and final ring in that section. Again, not a lot, but pretty easy. So, yeah. So at the bottom, or at the end of the Catacombs of Carthus, there's a bridge that you can smack down and it turns into a ladder. And then go down the ladder, there's a fire demon, get through there, and you end up here. There's a bonfire right there. But if you go over here, you can get yourself the Witch's Ring, which is one of 4 rings in this area. One of the fewest in the entire game. And then you pop out here, Smouldering Lake. Normally there is a giant ballista that shoots at you. So keep an eye out for that. We've turned it off, but you want to go generally pretty straight. And by this tree and this wall, there's going to be this little destructible wall. You need to bait the ballista into shooting the wall so you can get yourself the Speckled Stoneplate Ring. And from there, You can run on over here. This is going to be an area with a lot of running, so put levels into endurance. I mean, you don't have to, but man, it makes things easier. Now, I did go through and kill all the enemies, but going back to the beginning where we got the Witch's Ring, there was a pop-up for Catacombs of Carthus, which I'm afraid may have respawned all the enemies. It did not. Phew. But we pass another bonfire, go down here, there's a group of enemies in that little hallway. Go through here, there's an illusory wall here. Don't worry about that. Easy to just roll through. And you can pick yourself up the Flame Stoneplate Ring +2. And from there, you can go down this little side path. And lots of rats in this area. Very easy, basic enemies. Don't need to worry about them. And you just keep running through. Now, there are lots of turns, and it may seem confusing, but it's a pretty linear area, so don't worry too much about getting confused. Now, from here, you can go left, you can fight Sorig for a second time. And over here, there's a Black Knight with an ultra great sword, so fighting him on that tiny bridge, just keep the danger in mind. Now from here, there are going to be 2 very tall ladders, which is a climb. It's not that bad, honestly. It's just a lot of climbing, which is time consuming. There's also a bow on there, so if you want to get that, you need to drop down and take the second ladder up again. Now, thankfully it's a shorter ladder, much shorter, but, you know, the crabs skittering around. So up here is actually where you turn the giant ballista off, which will allow you to safely explore the area below. But there are a few destructibles. So there are 3. There's 2 normal ones and then an enemy. But you can pull the lever there, just make sure you got those 3 done. But on the outside of that, you get the Bloodbite Ring +1. And that's the 4 of this area, so yeah.